My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. Alrighty, I do want to document what is obstruction of justice by, what is Brian, right? Brian? Okay, got it. Thanks, Brian. But if you, yeah, I do. You guys have what is peculiar light on your ceiling. Do you have any idea how that's occurring? Or you've got light that's appearing on the inside of the depths of your grocery store? Okay, well, that is indicative of what is incriminating conduct, and when I am subject to it, I'm going to document it. So you are talking about soliciting and prohibiting recording when one is engaged in the enforcement of their rights. Of course you can't, but I'm going to document what you're speaking to using rules which will ordinarily be relevant where someone is engaging in some intrusion of the operation of your business. You're engaged in criminal conduct, and it's sexually violent. That's why that peculiar light activity is inside of this venue that you are engaged in. Because while you're telling me about your rules, you've got light shooting inside of the grocery store, which is entirely demonic. You're Brian, though, right? Yeah. Thank you, Brian. You have a good day. Have a good day. That's P.O.C. It is currently 8:22 a.m. That's Stater Brothers. That's Brian engaged in P.O.C. That's a psychopath, a demon, under a fake sun in directed light. Directed light fills the venue while you are referencing what are rules that are posted on the venue and for the purpose of what is obstruction of justice. And that's the bottom line. And that is a terrorizing threat by an entity that's engaging in also sexually violent conduct. You literally have light, inexplicable light on the ceilings, inside of the depths in the back of your store, that of course no minion can explain. There is no intent to ever explain it. You're talking about what is trying to engage in intimidation, seeking to exclude from a venue where criminal conduct is underway, and you're aware of it and you're documenting it. That is the grounds of what is. They're already speaking to what is engagement in with the P.O.C. and engaged in criminal summoning, while literally that direct evidence for what is federal prison is over their head, and that is the fake sun and indirect light. I mean, I have a wealth of documentation on Stater Brothers, which is not a family market. Okay, they're violent sex offenders. That's what they are doing at aisle 4. It's called relevant positioning, directed light, and the fake sun is over the venue. Again, that is the Caucasian male. It's 8:23 a.m. This is P.O.C. 8EEY240. Shamrock Foods under the fake sun. Right in relevant position 4UDB428. US.054336. That's Shamrock with an Arizona license plate on that truck. 8MBL068, 7SBZ755. And they're monitoring while the state's fake sun is over the village, the Ontario Shopping Center, all right, which is directly over the parking lot over my head, 70NY531, while we're at the Stater Brothers. And again, this is the same Stater Brothers, the same Ontario Village where you are looking after 1 p.m. After remaining at the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Avenue, the state is moving its fake sun over that property, keeping in alignment with me. So this is the P.O.C. 88546N1 7WPA425. And that is also the pattern of conduct while the state is sounding plane activity, amplifying plane engines over the parking lot. That's audible activity. While Shamrock Foods is in relevant position in the parking lot in front of the Habit restaurant. 8RAC754. And the state's fake sun now going in the opposite direction as we were coming down what was Laurel. Now we're driving on Hope Boulevard. Again, you're understanding what is going street for street, turn for turn. And the light source is over me. And you have what is that coexisting with what is the maintenance of stationary presence. Again, recall my documentation just days ago at 60 North Fern. That's how I'm able to capture what is OK Produce engaging in P.O.C. 8VOZ062. The state's fake sun over the 7-Eleven. And the 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue, by the way. This is Omnitrans 1545-417, bus 2347, 7NTL298, 7HOD461. That's student transportation. That's the school bus, a demon driving a school bus monitoring. License 6EKV417, REANNES. Directed light on the curb while Omnitrans is stalking in the path. You saw American medical response engaging in that same demonic activity. Systematic surveillance. All right, while they are stalking in the front. License plate in relevant position in front of the vehicle in traffic. That's what I mean. So you have what is maintenance of presence in the path and directed light coexisting with that stalking presence. 8GJA466, 8YBH344. It's 8:26 a.m. All right, license plate 05230F2, 6NPW544. Again, showing on video with license 4WON432, which is Tracy Banks. But this is license plate. I want to record it on my podcast, 8KXD425. And license plate 8YBH344, 8ZCMO35, 8GJA466. Clinica Medica, California. This is suite number 402 inside of the B&G Plaza. The State's Fake Sun is seen directly above that venue where they are engaging in what is relevant positioning. 7YOZ892, 7ZFZ127, patrolling into Clinica Medica, California, operation of communication devices. This is systematic monitoring. As opposed to waiting in line for some medical services. The state is patrolling via aircraft, which I capture on video. Engineered light is covering the ground, which I also show you on video, which is clearly not even the sun creating such light activity. This is the P.O.C. and the state's fake sun remaining over me, following as we go from 620 North Fern to Stater Brothers inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center to what is B&G Plaza. It's 8:32 a.m. and you are witnessing what is a demon engaging in the same exact identical behavioral pattern when you're witnessing Tracy Banks. This is a demon-possessed actor monitoring with a communication device, to whom she is blood-related. That is myself. And like I said, there is no exception with regard to what is demonic activity, and I'm revealing that which I am subject to. It is the identification of what is a demonic entity acting pursuant to what is criminal conduct. This is Satan operating over an environment, and these are those of demon possession. That's the condition that you're subject to, and you have an identical behavioral pattern. Tracy Banks is seen on video stalking in the path with light, using her vehicle as a means of maintaining that light. She's acting in concert with the demon that is driving none other than a vehicle with a logo on it identified as Omnitrans, engaging in what is light activity as well, relevant positioning, crossing paths while they stop at the bus stop and as they drive off, doing so in what is engineered light and under that which is not the sun. How do you know it's not the sun? Because I'm showing you at the same specific time, which I will continue to remind you of. Not only am I remaining documenting at the same time, it's currently 8:33 a.m. My documentation as of late, I still remain at 630 North Fern Avenue inside of the vehicle, and I'm showing you what is crossing a path, light activity creation by demons who are under a fake sun, which is maintaining presence over me at that address, which, by the way, my back is to that direction. It is in the absolute opposite direction. It is not coexisting. All right, and so this is, again, remembering there is no argument that the sun is it's maintaining presence over both of those addresses central at the same time. No, it's not, and that's not even possible. That's not even possible, and it is clearly not the case when you're seeing what is my back toward that direction, the absence of any light source in that direction of what is that address of 630 North Fern, even the movement of the fake sun in the window over me, whatever vehicle I'm on, when I'm engaged in movement from place to place on transit and on foot. All right, so that is not the maintenance of presence, some ubiquitous presence of the that which is supposedly the sun, like the sun is the sky. The sky is the only thing that maintains ubiquitous presence over everything at the same time, everywhere. That's it. All right, not the sun. All right, and this is clearly not the sun that is not remaining, as I have shown as a matter of documentation, maintaining presence over 630 North Fern Avenue. Okay, after this time, 8:48 a.m., and I specifically juxtaposed that documentation, 8:48, 8:49 a.m., with the days when I got on the Omnitrans from the B&G Plaza. I was already at the B&G Plaza, and the state's fake sun remains in the window of that bus as it proceeds to drive east on Hope Boulevard, where the state kept the fake sun in the window of that bus, contrary to what you saw this morning, while that demon driving Omnitrans drives off on camera, while the fake sun remains stationary right here, remaining over the edge of the building. That is not that which is the sun. that I'm showing you day in and day out, remaining over me while I'm in a vehicle, that is speaking to what is the ongoing pattern of conduct. You're witnessing what is Satan in operation over an environment, acting through those whom Satan is possessing. These are the demon-possessed engaging in that same hovering, stalking system together. And this is Satan acting over a people who are engaged in criminal conduct. And that's how you're getting down from level to level to level, understanding what is demonic activity. That's relevant to what is prosecution for terrorism. Also, the fact that it is the government that's relevant to prosecution for terrorism while you are subject to surveillance. And it is referred to as what is federal group stalking and monitoring. This is federal stalking. It is done so by an entity that is the government, who is also acting through the people of the state. The people of the state are using commercial brands, using airplanes, using their buses, using whatever vehicles, using whatever public establishments they have. There is no exception to that. This is the state that is engaging in surveillance, and the state is maintaining ubiquitous presence, that is stalking, through every single last person who was around you, not present on any First Amendment basis, not present in any individual capacity, present on behalf of the state, while they are also demon-possessed. License plate VA3 S7D, that's an out-of-state license plate, while they are demon-possessed, also speaking to what is present on behalf of the state, while they are engaging in an identical behavioral pattern. All right, the demon-possessed engage in stalking with simultaneity, that is mirroring whatever it is that I do physically and what I do on a communication device. The demon-possessed engage in stalking in the path with light, just like you saw Tracy Banks doing with her vehicle this morning, while she is maintaining stationary presence in that parking spot and uses her reverse lights as a method of stalking with light in the path. This is the same thing that Omnitrans is doing. They are both under what is not the sun, hovering over me, hovering over the venue where I remaining through the window of the vehicle that I'm inside of with Tracy Banks. All right, this is all manner of revealing what is demon possession, what is demonic activity, what is criminal conduct, monitoring with communication device, and doing so on behalf and in concert with the state, who is also in that video patrolling, that is repeatedly crossing path in smaller airplanes instead of using the demons of Amazon Prime, because that's exactly what they are, okay? And using the demons of, for example, Southwest Airlines, that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they've revealed about themselves. 7Z and C116, and the criminal conduct that they are engaging in, which is monitoring, surveilling, sexual violating, and terrorizing American citizens. 8MKP590, 6WXN512, 7ZXM425. And you have what is the engagement in what is that pattern of conduct, which is what I'm capturing on video. And so Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue is just one example, because the state is keeping its fake sun, as I have already shown, as a matter of documentation, over that venue where I came from at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which again I documented just days ago. The state is maintaining its fake sun while I'm in an entirely distinct location. It's nowhere near that venue, but it is while I'm there, whether it's earlier in the day or later in the day. That is no conduct of any actual sun, okay? That is what is following with light. That is entirely demonic. And while the state engages in this conduct, which is serving as the direct evidence of this system against the people and against the government, it is also speaking about what the rest of the country is doing, because by virtue of stalking with that which is not the sun, which is clearly established, you are also speaking to what is the implications with the rest of the country, because you're talking about in any other state, while I'm showing you what's supposedly the sun over me and remaining on one street in one county over one location, wherever it is I remain for the day, that is to the exclusion of any other location in any other state. And that's what I continue to remind you about, because the entity is stalking with that which is a fake sun, and there's only one sun. All right. And so while you're engaging in that, it is speaking to that which is not the sun, but you have what is the maintenance of what is supposedly the sun in different states. All right. In our country. All right. And that is not the sun that's over them anyway. 8PNW798, 6V60381, demons that are stalking the parking lot, maintaining presence together, walking around with double shadows and directed light. 7AYG385. And it's currently 8:39 a.m. The state is engaging in what is revealing its own system, as I have documented it and published it for the world to witness, and understand. This is not only serving, there is even an additional purpose, as I stated from the outset. It is not merely about, which is central. It is key to prosecute a government that's engaging in violation of constitutional human rights in the United States of America, because this country is supposedly, allegedly, more civilized than what it is doing. And that is why in this country, in the United States, there is groundwork to engage in prosecuting the government that is the criminal, all right, where federal group stalking and monitoring is underway. But with regard to that, I want to be clear, this is revealing the times that we are in. And by the times we are in, this is revealing what is demonic activity. This is revealing what is the reality contrary to what puppets who are exercising influence in this country and on the world stage. I mean, politicians, I mean, pop stars, I mean, anyone that you are looking at that's anything that's saying out of their mouth, whatever it is that they say, in other words, is permeating in society. And so you're talking about as they speak lies, as they act on behalf of Satan, their ambassador, which is what they are doing when they are speaking of what are false narratives. I want to be clear. In the same way that you have witnessed and you understand, error mark, crossing path, in the same way that you have witnessed what is Satan in operation, because that's exactly what it is when that which is not the sun is hovering over me. And it is also to the exclusion of every other state, every other county, because that light source, which is supposedly the sun, is going to be the grounds for revealing what the rest of the country is doing with the fake sun over you in wherever location that you're at. All right, because there's only one sun. But second of all, you need to understand that this is satanic. All right, you're witnessing what is Satan in operation, present in the environment. All right, and present over the people who are demon possessed, stalking together with light under what is this fake God that's hovering right above in the sky space. And it's not the star, that is the sun that we know, that we understand, which is, by the way, the basis under which this false narrative of global warming and climate change is premised. And all of that is literally revealed to be the script, nothing but the audible activity, if you will, of what are puppets who are relying on your ignorance as to the environment that surrounds you. 8 WAC 381. And the environment that surrounds you is demonic. All right, Satan is exercising control over the environment. That is the winds. All right, that is what are supposedly these fires that are quote unquote naturally occurring because of global warming and the intensifying heat. You are looking at what is heat coming from a fake sun. Satan itself is heating the environment under what is a fake sun that's remaining over me. So I want to be clear. Let me ask you a common sense question. What is warming the globe when the fake sun's remaining on Hope Boulevard? Because that's what my documentation shows. What's warming the globe? Because it's not the actual sun. There's more than one, all right, which is not the reality with regard to how the sun and the moon and the stars and the galaxy works. 7CKZ032, correct? There's only one sun, 4LBS078. And so while you're talking about global warming, you're going to recall my documentation, which is showing that which is not possibly the sun, the single sun that global warming's theory relies on, while it's remaining in Ontario on Hope Boulevard, at the intersections between, first of all, as I go up to what is essentially San Antonio between Vineyard Avenue. And that's just when I'm documenting and I stay in Ontario. 95570F2. So what is warming the globe? Because it's not the actual sun, that global warming's theory relies on. You're witnessing what is the operation, and guess what? While Satan's listening to me tell its secrets, flying over by helicopter. They're already prosecuting. The entity's going to federal prison. That's audible activity nonetheless. Every third party that I've already documented, including Aramark, intentionally crossing path, wanting to be a distraction, they're going to federal prison. All right, and who's sitting in their car stalking while the state flies over by helicopter, being a minion under the fake sun? That looks like 8VJK204. So anyway, it's 8:43 a.m. While Satan is listening to me tell about the reality of this system, you need to understand what is warming the globe when the state is keeping that which is not possibly the sun over me, over whatever building I'm in, for the duration of the day, especially when I'm remaining in what is a single city, not even traveling from Ontario to Fontana, or from Ontario to, let me be more thorough, from Ontario to what is, Rancho Cucamonga to Fontana. And then if I get on a different bus line, for example, Route 66, as I showed, I document all this, going from Fontana through what is Rancho Cucamonga to Upland, all right, and then to Ontario. This is all documentation that exists. You have what is the state engaging in, going from city to city, street for street, turn for turn, with that which is not possibly the sun, showing what is individualized concentration, all right, attention with that which is a light source and not the actual sun as you know it. And while that documentation has been published for your own eyes to see, it is to the exclusion of any other state, including Texas, including Tennessee, including Georgia, where they have what is supposedly the sun that's over their head. It is not the sun. You are witnessing what are the demon-possessed. And the demon-possessed are on TV. The demon-possessed are reporting the news to you. The demon-possessed are singing songs to you. They're rapping lyrics for you. All right, they're doing music videos that you're paying attention to. All right, this is what the demon-possessed do. The demon-possessed are engaging in telling you on the news about what's going on in the country, in the position as politicians, in positions of government, and they are speaking as the puppets that they are. And what you're going to remember is, first of all, it is not possibly any warming of the globe going on when the state's keeping a fake sun over me in the city of Ontario in Southern California. Because while they're reporting that news to you, you look up above them in whatever state that they're in and they're under a fake sun. All right, that's the direct evidence of that. This is Satan over an environment. Satan is literally above your head in the environment. Satan is surrounding you through the people of the state, the demon possessed. All right, Satan is engaging and acting out its will through people. All right, these are psychopaths under what is a demonic spirit. That is what is compelling. That is what is inspiring. That is what is the result of that identical behavioral pattern, stalking in the path with light. That's demonic. That's how you have what is and that's exactly what my documentation shows. Going anywhere that I go, absolute strangers, even though you're strangers in Ontario, I don't know these demons' names personally. I know them by their deeds, what they're doing, and it's identical. It's a pattern. All right, so you're talking about what is the existence of a system. But you're talking about even when I'm going to an area where I have never been before. I went to Azusa, California. The state kept a fake sun over my head. At what point, by the way, have I ever been to Azusa? And at what point, when the state is keeping the fake sun over me at 9:55 in the morning and keeping it there till after 4 p.m., following me as I go to the B&G Plaza and acting as though then the sun is setting in alignment with the B&G Plaza, is the actual sun ever going to be in Azusa, California over that McDonald's off of Route 66, just like I documented? While law enforcement just so happened to be in perfect alignment with me, stalking via a drive-thru, as I have revealed how the people engage in surveillance. At what point is it ever? That's not the actual sun, that's why. And it is never during any course of the day taking a break from being over my head. That is speaking to what is going on in the city of Azusa. In the same way, that which is not the sun is hovering over the heads of American citizens in the rest of the country, whatever state you're in, because that's not the sun that's over them in Texas, and you know it's blazing hot in Texas. That's not the sun that's over them in Louisiana and in Florida and in Tennessee. And in Mississippi. That is that which is a light source, and you're understanding what is Satan that is operating influence over an environment. The environment spans beyond where I am in Ontario. I'm showing you what the entity is doing. The entity is demon possessed. The entity is a puppet of Satan itself. The entity is feeding you lies. Okay, there is no global warming going on when you're keeping that which is the supposedly the sun, the fake sun, over me in one city on one street. And that is the idiocy, the asininity of stalking with a fake sun and then it being documented. License plate 54615F3 8MUDO71 Coca-Cola. License plate 4MK7275 BTH7604 Arizona, 8WIB094, 8GJA466, 5SKZ765, 8CAA953, 8WHK777. Omnitrans, you already know about those demons, 1404973 Route 61 at 8:48 a.m. So you have what is revealing and understanding. You need to pay very close attention because this is not rocket science. All right, you can look at your local newscast while those demon-possessed news anchors, and I am not being hyperbolic. Satan is operating influence, presence. Satan is present in the environment. That's what you're looking at with the fake sun. Satan is right in your face. You're thinking you're going to see some caricature of Satan, and let me be clear, that is intentionally the depiction of Satan so that you will remain ignorant about what you think evil looks like, all right, about what you think demonic activity looks like, about what you think a bad person, an enemy, and what evil looks like. That's caricaturizing that which is very real and present in your face on a daily basis. So let me be clear. You are witnessing what is Satan hovering in what is a light source, exercising influence and control over the environment. It is the same with the wind. It is the same with the rain. It is the same with anything you're talking about with regard to covering up the state's fake sun in the sky, as I've documented that. This is Satan in operation over an environment trying to conceal that which is already revealed. Satan isn't going anywhere with its fake son. It remains over me. Satan is focused on me. I'm going to prosecute Satan, and I'm going to tell all of Satan's secrets, and I'm going to name all of Satan's minions, including Omnitrans, bus number 1329. I want to make sure I document that. And this is driven by an African-American male. Directed light by 9794583 in a commercial vehicle. All right, using stalking in the path with light while the state is amplifying plane activity. Like I said, it's 8:50 a.m. And remember, at this time, the state is keeping its fake son as I'm getting on the bus of Omnitrans at 8:48 a.m. driven by the African-American female. And I'm on Omnitrans bus, and the state is moving with its fake son east on Holt Boulevard. That's not the sun, especially while it's not moving in alignment with the window of that bus that's crossing path right now, stalking. 1562886. The state is keeping its fake sun right here over the B&G Plaza, which, by the way, not only moving in the window over me while I'm in transit, also at the same time documenting maintaining stationary presence over me at a single address, which is 630 North Fern. Mutually exclusive. Literally remaining stationary over an address versus real-time movement, street for street, turn for turn while I'm on a bus. All right? That's impossible. You're talking about what is Satan maintaining light source over me, and I'm revealing what is going on not only in the state of California, but what's going on in the country. All right? And it's criminal, but I will not mince words. This is Satan. Okay? And these are the demon possessed. These are puppets of Satan. And the puppets of Satan are telling you all kinds of lies. Okay? Just literally fabricating and relying on your ignorance. By virtue of maintaining that which is not the sun over me, and it is not possibly the sun. All right? You have what is the revealing what is going on in every other state, because that's not the sun that's hovering over them either. And what you'll notice also, what I've shown you about that which is not the sun, it also defies common sense. Satan is not just stalking over the environment, maintaining presence over us in the sky, if you will. You're talking about what is hovering. It's a hovering light source. The actual sun would not be hovering. What we learn about that ball of fire, that gas ball of fire, that is the sun. It would be setting these planes on fire that are stalking in the airspace while they're flying underneath the fake sun. It will be setting these buildings afire while the state is hovering over the roofs of these venues where I'm going. It would be burning us up. And let me be clear, this is what the entity wants you to understand is some sort of global warming. No, this is Satan. It's Satan. Global warming is relying on some theory where the actual sun, that is the star, it is not the spirit of Satan itself hovering over us in an impossible manner, using the form that is implausible with regard to it's supposedly the sun. Okay, well, that would work if you didn't have one for every single county, every single location, because that's exactly what you're doing. How is it going to be a sunny day in Los Angeles, which it is? How are you going to see the sun, and I put that in air quotes, in the sky in Los Angeles, when it's keeping a light source over me, which is supposedly the sun? There's only one sun. There's only one. All right, so you have what is revealing what is going, and that's just California. Like I said, that is revealing what's going on in the rest of the country. And that is insurmountable direct evidence. You want to disregard and engage in criminal defamation? Oh, she's talking about that's a fake sun? Okay, so what is that light source that's in Northern California? Because I tell you what, the light source that's remaining over me as I'm documenting for the duration of an entire day at whatever address I remain is not possibly any light source that somebody in San Francisco is seeing over their head in the sky above them, let alone in any other country. That is not the same sky space, and that is also a hovering light source. You can't even see that over the roofs of the Ontario Town Square townhomes from the opposite side of the parking lot. The state moves its fake sun to remain over my head while it's hovering. That light source is a low hovering light source. That is not the sun, any way that you want to put it. And any minion that wants to engage in criminal defamation is also going to be prosecuted for that. I spoke to that, and I published that over a year ago when these minions hopped on the internet, not knowing what was coming, documenting themselves while they're injecting themselves in what is a legal process. I'm going to prosecute them for that. That's a pattern of conduct. That is Satan. That is a liar. That is literally the psychopath sitting around and harassing you and doing so in a public manner that is published on the internet, on the venue, by the way, the internet, where the government is monitoring. The P.O.C. is underway. But not only that, you are injecting yourself in what is a legal process. You are in every way subjecting yourself to a prosecution, and you're acting on behalf of the entity that's hostile to being documented. Period. All right, so everything that you're uttering is for purposes of maintaining that fallacy that group stalking is some fable by some hallucinating not a psychopath, by some hallucinating paranoid schizophrenic. All right, that is script, P.O.C. This demon, 0523OF2, who I already documented, patrolling in the parking lot, directed light, demons, 8GNT115. And the more I document Satan in operation, the more, again, the maniacal they are literally the cockroaches that they are. All right, you just cannot see the fact that they're gargoyles in the spirit. You can't see their hideous form in the spirit, but you know them by their deeds, what they're doing, and you also know them by the demonic environment that they're in. And the more that I'm speaking the truth, right now you have the entity engaging and just crawling all around like the cockroaches that they are, just swirling all around on transit, driving all through the parking lot with directed light and a fake sun over them. These are psychopaths. All right. This is Satan in operation over a people, and Satan in operation over a person is a threat to the life of the American citizen who's being subject to that surveillance by the government. All right. Satan is a dangerous psychopath acting through people who are maliciously engaging in a criminal system. All right. And also, as I've shown you what is the documentation, as I've published it, you're also witnessing that psychopath, that ongoing intent to terrorize, threaten, and sexually violate, while the psychopaths, the demon-possessed third parties, and the state are monitoring the documentation. All of that's going toward that prosecution. Every single last ounce of it. R282016, CB02K48, paper plate. And so it's 8:55 a.m. And the state is maintaining its light source directly over the B&G Plaza, remaining stationary while these demons are driving by in the shade, and directed light is reaching out toward me. That is the focus that Satan has on me. Okay? That is the stalker that is personified through the light, stalking, monitoring me, focused on me. Okay? And that is speaking to what the demon-possessed are doing. Very dangerous psychopath. That is a level of terrorism never contemplated by federal policy. And that is because what the state is doing was never supposed to be revealed. Period. All right. And so, like I said, the government is not only lying about global warming, the government is lying to you about narratives regarding law enforcement, such as Black Lives Matter. These are demons that are engaging in targeting. The criminal conduct, the violation of constitutional rights that law enforcement have engaged in is not based on some African American. It's not based on some minority race. This is demonic. These are the demon-possessed that are in positions of law enforcement. And that is not what is going on in the state of California. Just as you saw on video this morning, Tracy Banks is a very black woman, okay? Entirely black, engaging in targeting with law enforcement, doing so with minions of every other race. It does not matter what these demons' races are. Let me tell you, Satan wants to distract you with that. License 8GNT115, a demon with directed light, monitoring with Union Pacific, who you hear in the background. And these demons who are patrolling, including 17714R2, while they are driving by, stalking, crossing path with directed light. A demon that is stalking. So you have what is the distraction with issues such as race, and that is not the basis upon which law enforcement is targeting American citizens. It is the pattern of conduct as I have revealed it to you, and it is demonic. And these are the demon-possessed under that influence, that spiritual influence, which you cannot physically see. But you can see it based on what is the environment. Satan is hovering over the environment. That's what you're looking at when I'm speaking to what is a fake sun. All right? And it is the fake sun that's remaining present. You are witnessing the supernatural because you have the government isn't keeping some strings on or maintaining some robot in the sky that looks like this. That's not what's going on. You're witnessing Satan over the environment. And it is the same thing when the demon-possessed are telling you that fires are being caused by the exacerbating heat, that trees are being ripped up out of the ground by the root, by the intensifying weather. No, you're witnessing what is Satan operating control over the environment and then telling you about some other reason as to what is the cause. And I want to be clear, it has nothing to do with that. It is directly revealed with what I'm showing you, with what the state is doing, what the state is doing on behalf of Satan itself. This is Satan in operation. Satan wants to be a god. Satan is not a god. Satan has a limited amount of time. Satan and its minions are being exposed. All right. Now, Satan is a spirit. Satan's a spirit operating in the environment. And you're witnessing that Satan in operation while a fake sun's remaining over my head. That's what you're looking at. You're witnessing what is spiritual. Okay? And it's darkness, but I'm revealing it. And isn't it ironic that it is darkness that you're witnessing while it is referred to as what is supposedly the sun? But in a way, it's not, because it's actually not the sun at all. And it is the unfathomable level of malicious conduct by a government and by Satan itself, who seeks to deceive. It's actually not ironic, but I can see both sides of that. if you follow. So anyway, let me be clear. It's 8:59 a.m. The Sheriff's Department, the demons of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department who are going to federal prison. I will be documenting the pattern of conduct of kidnapping that they have been engaged in, and speaking to what is the kidnapping suffered on May 4th, 2019 by this same demon-possessed entity while the state was keeping a fake sun over that Sheriff's Department. It is revealing what is a condition while you were stalking the path. And so, like I said, on the one hand, yes, the entity is engaging in what is criminal conduct. This is a pattern of conduct. I am subject to surveillance by the government. The entity is maintaining surveillance in general of American citizens. You are living under a fallacy in the United States that you have some privacy, that the government is not hovering over your shoulder, that the government does not know what's going on between your legs, in your bedroom, and your bank account, on your job, whatever it is that you think is private, it is not. 7UYD 989, 8LEJ 986, and that's why I speak in that terms, because you need to understand that the government is a sex offender, the government is a criminal, placing American citizens under surveillance. 8SDY 684, 4NCE 835, and doing so in concert with the people of the state. And I am one who I've become aware of it, and I started documenting it. And then you really see what is the entirety of that system in operation seeking to obstruct justice. Also, the intricacies of that system, all the ways in which the government maintains surveillance. And it is literally through the company names that you identify as McDonald's, as Walmart, okay, as Stater Brothers, Vons, whatever grocery store, Starbucks, you name it. This is what the government is acting through. And that's just this facet in everyday life. You're talking about what is on your television screen and acting to influence you. I mean, Satan has a comprehensive operation going on. All right. But like I said, Satan's efforts are, first of all, futile. And second of all, Satan's time is limited. It is literally, Satan has been allotted a certain amount of time, and you were talking about what is desperate measures trying to conceal what the very thing that I'm telling you about. All right, that is indeed documentation of Satan engaging in kidnapping me. That is indeed the documentation of what I've revealed. These are the demon possessed. When I am speaking to a third party and you hear me say the name Satan, that is who I am encountering. I know exactly what I'm countering, and I'm not going to mince words with it. And I'm going to prosecute Satan all the ways in which they want to engage in, showing that they're a psychopath, because you're not escaping that prosecution. You're not escaping it. All right, 7THY940, 7T4. 8062, reaching all the way across the street to touch, reach toward me with directed light. That's a demon driving a commercial vehicle. And those are demons in their own vehicles monitoring together as one entity. 60216J2. So anyway, I just want to go through all of that. Like I said, that is what is literally surrounding an entity, choking it with its own criminal conduct. And that is how you prosecute, by the way. And showing what is a comprehensive system that is ceaselessly underway, even as Satan, again, tries to cover up its light source, which I spoke to. It doesn't change by virtue of, first of all, what you're stalking with. You're stalking with that which is supposedly the sun. Okay, so then that means also, even when Satan is trying to cover it up, and understand that's what this is, Satan is operating control over the environment. And let me also be clear, let me point something else out to you. This is not in any way Satan that is a god. Satan is not a god. Satan does operate influence over this natural environment that we live in, all right? Operates over those who are flesh and blood. But we as people are more than flesh and blood. You are actually way more than flesh and blood. Your flesh and blood is merely your shell. You are made up of spirit, and that exists even more so than the flesh and blood. You're just not aware of it because we're finite beings, and we're focusing on the skin color, your eye color, your body shape. But you are composed of what is a spirit, and like I said, that is what you are encountering while you are dealing with regard to the pattern of conduct. You are dealing with what are spirits. And this is a demonic environment. Satan is hovering, and Satan is doing so under what is supposedly the guise of what is supposed to be the sun, which you're never supposed to question. But I've shown you this is not possibly the sun, and you're also understanding what is literally hovering in the sky space. You're witnessing the supernatural. It is indeed Satan itself. And while Satan is hovering in the sky space, revealing that which is not the sun, it is a demonic environment. It is revealing the minions of Satan itself. These are the demon-possessed, driving around in school buses. All right, flipping burgers and ordering burgers while they're all engaging in what is an entire society focused on surveillance. And right now the focus is on me because I am revealing the tactics of Satan. They're not doing anything. And you know that because Satan is hovering over me with a light source. You know that because these demons are stalking in the path with light. This is demonic.
Stalking, creating light activity is demonic. Satan itself, keeping a light source over my head, is the conduct of Satan. 030400Y2, I think. Anyway, so like I said, you're witnessing, this is the P.O.C, and there is no global warming. Like I said, what is warming the globe when that which is supposedly the sun is not warming the rest of the globe? No, it's not. It's remaining right over me, as I'm showing you, during Pacific Daylight Time on one street in one city. Okay, one county, one city, one street, one block. Okay, so you're talking about what is not relevant to global warming whatsoever. While Satan is ripping trees out of the ground by the roots, the state of California, which is engaged in state surveillance, these are the demon-possessed that are stating the cause of these fires along the coast of California is brought on by what is the intensifying climate. They're lying to you. All right, ONTFIRE, crossing path again. That is a demon of the fire department. That's a license plate. And crossing path while they're listening to me tell their secrets. And also, this is the same demon crossing path in that vehicle, at least with that license plate. While the Ontario police were group stalking under the fake sun that at that time was on Euclid Avenue, while they were monitoring in relevant position to the 434 North Euclid Avenue, Arco. All right, and I recited in video that demon with that license plate. And it associated with the fire department, it's not a coincidence while I'm speaking about what I'm speaking about. 8RKD634. I'm just breaking down demons and the way they act and what demons do and the moments that they do it. That's what stalking with activity is about. These demons are sitting around focused on me, maintaining knowledge of what's going on. If I have indigestion, if I have hunger pangs, if I engage in, again, like I said, moving my pinky toe in my shoe, which is not audible to the human ear, no normal person has any knowledge of what's going on in my shoe with my toe, or that my stomach may be growling. I mean, provided it's not growling really loudly. This is how closely these demons are paying attention, and those are demons that are chasing in the bathrooms. They already know. Satan that is using people. Satan knows exactly what is going on in the bathroom. This is the ability to prosecute Satan for being a sex offender as it is acting through the people. And you're going to prosecute Satan, who is a sex offender acting through the people who are under that specific environment to engage in that criminal conduct. This is how you are able to drag Satan in court. Literally. So, like I said, anyway, it's 9:06 a.m. and the state's fake sun remains present over the B&G Plaza. And like I stated on Sunday, that was just Sunday. Today is Wednesday. This was days ago. The state's fake sun was remaining over 630 North Fern. And we did not leave until 10:37, and I showed you at 10:35 while the state was keeping it stationary right over the car that was parked at 630 North Fern. And then as the vehicle drove off, and I did that on purpose so you see what is remaining over me, and then as I move, remaining over me. All right, 10:37 a.m. 8F2 3884, molesting. City of Ontario 1478300, and Omnitrans, molesting. License plate 1234516, bus 1224. So, like I said, there is no global warming. That entire theory is debunked when documentation of what is not possibly the sun remaining over what is the city of Ontario in a single county on a single street, which is not the first time I did. Being on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, where I'm showing you what is essentially the state keeping a fake sun 7:35 in the morning at Starbucks on this same street, Hull Boulevard. And the next day where the state engaged in feigning some sunset on the same street, less than 2 miles down the same street on Hull Boulevard, in alignment with me at the B&G Plaza, where the state's fake sun is present right now. All right, and that's what I'm going to remind you of. 4 p.m. in the evening, and it's after 4 p.m. The state is keeping a fake sun in the window of the Shiro's Liquor. All right, while it is present here in the morning, and this is it's 9 o'clock now. That is speaking to what are the demons of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. All right, these are demons that are crossing path underneath what is Satan, this minion. License plate 1500464. That's a white female crossing path in the Sheriff's Department vehicle. Monitoring with Omnitrans, demons creating light activity. All right, while Satan is hovering in what is using a light source that is supposedly the sun. You're witnessing what is the exercise of control over the environment. It is not a natural environment, it's a demonic environment. 6RBB691. And there is no global warming. Not while you have documentation showing that that is not possibly the case, when that which is clearly not the sun, as a matter of scientific fact, it's impossible that it would be the sun that is setting on the same street. And that's what my documentation within the last few days shows. This is what the state is doing right now. It's 9:08 in the morning. Again, here, prior to this time, the state putting its fake sun over this B&G Plaza, the same B&G Plaza where you're talking about up to 445, 452, I believe. I'm showing you what is the state engaging in like the sun is setting right here. This is the same B&G Plaza. And I will remind you of that again. I'll post it again because that's what I like to do. You cannot have a short memory when you are documenting what is criminal conduct and demonic activity. All right? You are talking about what is understanding the ongoing P.O.C., the cumulative value of when you're stalking with that which is not the sun. Oh, then you're going to remember what just happened just the other day. Okay? It's directly relevant to what these demons are doing right now and the environment that they're doing it. License 8NMS 812 7ZUC 843 7879003 1515409 6RQB 388 8EVK 204 7M 63708 8NNX 586. And that is again 9:10 a.m. Omnitrans, who you are hearing, and that's engaging in what is surveillance. All right, and this is loitering in the path, maintenance of audible activity, light activity creation. This is all manner of terrorism as I'm documenting it, and that's exactly the seriousness of that conduct as you are acting on behalf of the state that's maintaining what is surveillance, criminally placing one under surveillance. That's what federal group stalking and monitoring is, and doing so in what is the malicious method of using commercial actors. And this is the government placing you under surveillance and thinking you will never ever find out about it. All right. And then not only understand, Omnitrans is not just doing that. Omnitrans is also prosecuted as a sex offender, not only as the people while I'm documenting what is stalking with a fake sun. That's an ongoing perpetual touching. At nightfall, where directed light, you're looking at the signs that I'm showing you, and the shadows of the signs are going in literally opposite directions, where I have 2 and 3 sets of legs, where my shadow is surrounding me. That's documentation of ongoing molestation. 7UWF116, this is the entity that is touching. All right, and doing so also in bathrooms, while my person is while I am physically indisposed, and I'm engaged in a private activity inside of a private space, and that engineered light is inside of that bathroom, that's going to what is a molestation, a sexually violent molestation of my nude body while I'm subject to surveillance. That's why that directed light is there. 4ZPA771. These are all the ways in which you're going to prosecute Satan that is acting through a people to maintain what is surveillance. Engineered light, presence in the path, and ongoing activity. That's what group stalking is, and it's entirely demonic. So like I said, anyway, it's currently 9:11 a.m., and that is speaking to what is leaving from maintaining presence. That was Omnitrans, and I'm just breaking down everything that the criminal conduct that the people of the state are engaging in via a commercial actor such as Omnitrans. 7SHS165 1450 1450 excuse me. 5RXJ630, 7NZU103, 8KNX 505, 8EQB 579. And it is currently 9:12 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, it's currently 9:12 a.m. Let's see, license plates. 8TDF 360. 7KFD 618, 7MFY 777. UPS loitering in relevant position at Metro 102 Apartments. And just like I was documenting as the entity was stalking via helicopter, let me declare, I'm sorry, excuse me, not declare. Let me go over that. Because the entity is engaging in well, it's terrorism. The entity is stalking via helicopter. But let me go over what is the criminal motive by that conduct. These are demons. All right. Understand, these are criminals, but these are demons. This is the demon possessed. And so the ongoing motivation is to engage in what is essentially harassment. While I'm telling you what is about, the reality with regard to Satan operating control over the environment as opposed to some global warming theory. There is no warming of the globe when you're keeping a fake sun over a single person. And you also know that because if the sun is here, how are you warming the rest of the globe? No, you're not. 8E42775. It's ridiculous. 752-99E3. 6V71904. 04368F2. 6K42899. 78000C1. 6JZA651 33463B3. That's dial transport, directed light, US.1680276. Directed light while they're crossing path in that commercial vehicle. It's an all-white truck. So anyway, you have what is the state flying by, and it was flying directly over the Ontario Town Square townhomes, flying what is east over the roof of the Ontario Town Square townhomes. All right, and I've documented that before, that same exact conduct. It's called relevant positioning, and I also documented it yesterday, flying east over the Ovid Family Community Library, and what was directly over my head at that time? The state's fake sun as I sat in front of the senior center with my back to the 280 North Lemon Apartments. While the state's fake sun was not above the 280 North Lemon Apartments, which would be the case as I was the actual sun, although it wouldn't be hovering over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. But nonetheless, the state's fake sun is not there. 8 NLT 148, pursuant to what is a predictable pattern of movement by the actual sun, a star, as opposed to what is the following conduct of a light source that is not the sun, and it is literally Satan itself hovering over in the sky space in an environment where criminal conduct is underway while Satan is exercising control over the environment. All right, and so that's the reality of that. And so that's what the entity was doing yesterday, flying over the Ovid Family Community Library, also indicative of what is a third party and or state actor. The government's flying over your venue by helicopter. This is a pattern of stalking. All right, you're monitoring with the entity, and the fake sun is over my head. You are monitoring with the entity, the demonic entity, and the public entity, the state of California. All right, license 7BNU426, 8WKZ035, 6TVX361, 5LRY221. 7ZGM500, 6WWJ508, 4VBG703, 50664R1, 4ZKW389, 5ZTJ896, 6XTC101, 6UAT726, 93597M1, 8WSR617, 57902E3, 86053G3, 8NTN695, 5TLJ859. License 77366D3. That is, again, within a pattern, like I said. The state is flying over the Ontario Town Square townhomes, a third-party facilitating venue, as the state is keeping a fake sun directly over my head, which is the same exact conduct as I documented yesterday. The state is keeping a fake sun directly over my head, and while the state is stalking by helicopter, and it was a black and white helicopter, not the blue and white helicopter. All right, I just want to make sure I document that, but I was not going to pause. The entity is engaging in what is harassment. Yes, this is terrorism, as I document that. This is terrorism by the state. This is routine to the P.O.C. These are demons stalking in helicopters. This is literally Satan using government actors engaging in those incredible methods of stalking. 8B51728. But this is the intent to engage in harassment. All right, wanting me to stop, in other words, stop talking about what I'm talking about while I'm telling you about what is global warming and the impossibility of that even being 8VZUB13. That's not even an answer. It's not even addressing what is the reality of what is going on. And that is what is so profound about the documentation as you are looking at it. While you are looking at a fake sun remaining over me on a bus from Ontario to Fontana and remaining over the library of Fontana, acting as though the sun is setting in Fontana while I remain there, that is to the exclusion of any other location. That's not global warming. 6601, I can't really see that one, J3, but I couldn't see the whole list, but you can scratch that one. 7VMP277. 6AJM616, 8GBN686, 93131B1. And that is, again, there is no argument saying, oh, it's remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library and it's also over in Texas. 3573N1, I believe. It's also blaring in the sky space in Texas. No, it's not. That's why the state is concentrating that directed light through the windows, spreading on the floors inside of the Fontana Lewis Library, even though that's not sunlight. But what the state's conduct is doing is suggesting what it would ordinarily seek to use as form. Oh, that's supposedly sunlight that's inside on the floors inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. First of all, no, it's not. And let me answer another question, since no one seems to be able to identify this manner of common sense. The actual sun, that is a star, that is not low and hanging beside our windows and structures. The sun is above us. The sun is a star. It's in the sky. It's above us. It's not adjacent to buildings. Sunlight is not shooting horizontally through windows and spreading onto the floors. That is not light activity that's ever naturally occurring. I see it on TV. I see it all over the place. And that is not normal light activity. 8YIP 556. It is impossible light activity. That is light that is being horizontally projected. It is engineered light. Okay, 2Z50371. But what it shows is the vast influence that Satan is exercising over the natural environment. All right. And again, I'm just going to, when I'm speaking of the environment, I'm just going to limit it to the United States because that's where I am. I'm in California. I'm on the West Coast. I am under what is Pacific Standard Time. And you have what is revealing what's going on in the rest of my country. Okay. Now, this is common sense because what's going on in California is directly applicable to what's going on in France. It is. Why? Because there's only one sun. That's why. There's only one. That is why. This is what I'm telling you. What the state is doing, it is speaking to everything else. And it's not just that. It's criminal. It's demonic. It's demonic. Satan is hovering over you in the sky space. 6WJU274 76081R2 7HFB 802. And you need to know that the demon possessed are surrounding while Satan is hovering in the sky space. FLIPMIX 8HBZ035 45631S1 54526V1 918WRYN, I believe. And let me also document Frontier Communications crossing path. And I've already stated the city of Ontario. Yeah, I read their license plate, but doing so on more than one vehicle. So I want to make sure that I spell that out. It is relevant to what is going on in foreign countries in the rest of the world. And I wonder if our allies know that the United States is a hypocrite while it sits at the table amongst them, while it's monitoring, criminally placing under surveillance its American citizens, or whether our allies are doing the exact same thing. 78RL498. License plate 8UGH974 8CJE638 7AJS320 8EZP733. Because like I said, this exceeds what is merely political. 7JRT746. This is demonic. This is demonic. This is Satan operating in, how is Satan present in the world? It is not some weird looking witch on a broomstick with fairy dust in the sky. That is a caricature. That is intentionally misleading. Satan is present in your face, in your life every single day. Not only hovering around in the environment, but also present all around you through the demon possessed. The Ontario police included, crossing paths with demons who are stalking in the parking lot of B&G Plaza at 9:22 a.m. All right. And pay attention to the not only to the prosecution, but to the documentation that I will be publishing today about them engaging in kidnapping on May 4th, 2019 through May 22nd, 2019. License plate 8RLU121. So like I said, that is Satan in operation over environment. And like I said, Satan is hovering in a light source. That is the demon possessed police department. 7 U.S.C. 166. 8 UVH 227 1149 1D3. And the demon possessed are telling you these fires are being caused by global warming. Understand what the theory of global warming is based on. The existence of one sun as we know it, just like we were taught in elementary school, taught in middle school. All right. Understanding what we know about the star. All right. This gaseous ball of fire that is not able to hover over buildings and not set it on fire. Are you kidding? Sunlight is not shooting horizontally in through windows and spreading across through the depths of buildings. That's not sunlight. You're witnessing Satan. It's a demonic environment. The demon possessed are in their element, okay? The light itself is living and breathing. It is Satan, okay? 8XTF941, it is Satan. 96215B2. And that's what you need to understand. It is referred to for purposes of prosecuting it because it is. It's not normal light. It's directed light. It is light that is specifically and strategically placed all around for ongoing surveillance with communication devices, but it's engineered light as I have referred to it. All right. And you literally have to come up with a nomenclature where Satan is engaging in such a demented system. It's unheard of. It's unfathomable. Right. So what do you call this light that's shooting off of a vehicle? AJXG 964, other than what it is. It's light that's being directed toward me, i.e. directed light. You're stalking. You're molesting with that which is not possibly sunlight, and you're not even under the sun. You don't even have that. All right? Oh, well, it's the sun, and so, you know, it's reflection. They don't even have that. I've shown you what is not the sun. You're under what is a deliberately placed light source, speaking to your condition, which is one of demon possession, vicarious presence on behalf of the state who is monitoring pursuant to this demonic environment, all right, while you are engaging in what is criminal conduct. And you're a sex offender, 6WJEO68. You are a sex offender. Satan is a sex offender, in case you didn't know that. What we would identify under laws, that Satan is the most violent sex offender that you can't fathom. That's what Satan is, and Satan is acting through a people. 8YJZ252. Okay, you're talking about a bunch of sickos. 76930X1. Satan, the demon possessed, they already know what's going on with my panties in the bathroom. Those demons creep their perverted, psychotic selves in the bathroom to crouch around in that directed light, present while activity is created. They're engaging in surveillance. That's what Satan is doing. They're sex offenders. 6TJV192. Those are sickos. You are not normal in the membrane at all. 52800G3. And that's why I capture those demons' images. That's why I capture that video, because I'm going to prosecute you. I'm going to take you out like the sex offender that you are, and in ways that Satan has not fathomed, okay? Using these minions who are going to be dragged in court in the name of Satan. BWAGS25. That's Bill and Wags engaging in theft of property and intentionally engaging in molestation. Those are demons that want to engage in some method of harassment, want to engage in some method of distraction from what I'm saying, which is bothering this entity, the demons that are sitting around listening and focusing and stalking. Understand that. 7JXJ673. 8TQZ271, I believe. Not only are you talking about what is going to federal prison, Bill and Wags, they engaged in criminal summoning, and that's published on podcasts already, after they stole my car with the demon-possessed agency of the Ontario Police Department. You're talking about what is grounds of federal prison. You're talking about what is theft of property, and not just my personal property, everything I owned inside of that vehicle. You are intentionally stalking under that which is not the sun and molesting my person with directed light while you are listening to me speak the truth about you, because Bill and Wags is nothing but demon-possessed. This is Satan. So Satan is listening to me speak the truth about it, using that particular demon to communicate a threat, to communicate hostility, to distract from what I'm speaking of. Satan does not want me to tell you this. It's the same conduct of flying over in a black and white helicopter, the same conduct of crossing paths with the Ontario Police Department, demons engaging in a pattern of kidnapping. This is what Satan is doing right now. They're going to federal prison, all right? Like I said, the entity is engaged in theft of property, including 8UKS769. This is an actor of the same entity that engaged in theft of property. While, by the way, October 4, 2019, pay attention in the video where I'm showing you the license plate. There's a playlist where my vehicle was stolen on October 2nd, 2019, on that morning, and I'm showing a video of license plates. This is published on the front page of my YouTube channel. It's the very first video speaking to October 2nd, 2019. You see the fake sun over my head. License. That blackface minion monitoring with the police, a demon, in the same way with the police, with no license plate, 8NDC354. So I want to be clear, October 2nd, 2019, where the entity engaged in stealing my vehicle via those demons that just crossed paths, and intentionally so, they've already wrecked it. I'm just going to document it, 8TXJ782. You're going to pay attention. This is already it's already done. Like I said, I'm prosecuting and I'm publishing, and I'm also revealing what is necessary for you to know wherever you are. Satan is present in the environment all around you, and you don't even know it. You know it now. Pay attention. You need to live circumspectly, all right? Because Satan is hovering in the sky space above you. That's how you know what is going on, because that's not the sun. And it's not coexisting wherever you are. It is not coexisting with that which is supposedly the sun that's over me. That's how you know what's going on. And it's Satan. And you also know what's around you, the demon-possessed, puppets of Satan. License BE82B01, I believe that's a paper plate. License 8TXJ782 then comes into the B&G Plaza to engage in crossing a path. These demons are doing so while direct light moves across the storefront, using reverse lights to stalk with light. License 971JEP, that's Oregon. And it's currently 9:29 a.m. So, like I said, you have the entity engaging in what is the maintenance of presence in the path, and doing so what is 9:29 a.m. and the state is maintaining its light source stationary over the B&G Plaza. All right. So, I mean, this goes without saying. I heart ROGER. That's a license plate. It goes without saying. I have already shown documentation when I am en route to the city of Fontana on the bus. Just like you hear the demons of Omnitrans coming here, crossing path, molesting, leaving Fake sun staying. Fake sun not leaving in the window, remaining over me while I'm on that bus. All right, and that's how you know what is of Satan. That's how you know what is the P.O.C. that is underway. And this is my revealing to you what the government is doing, and the government is doing it on behalf of Satan itself. These are the demon-possessed. These are the demon-possessed, and the demon-possessed shall be prosecuted as the demon-possessed criminals that they are, terrorists. Okay, they shall be known as what is terrorists, and because that's what this pattern of conduct is intended to do. That's what it is. And doing so in such incredible manners, doing so through a people who are demon possessed, doing so through a government, a public entity that is demon possessed, using what are positions that they have to engage in obstruction of justice. That's terrorism as well. 7MO7073. 7MO7073. 5562522. 8ANK 609. 8FSA 959. 3BC 2. I can't really see that one. License plate 8LYR 886, I believe. Can't really see that one. 9G23430 and 9F85687, I believe. 4X97729 is the back license plate on that truck. Those are large. Both of them are large trucks. All right, molesting with directed light is Omnitrans 1399984, bus number 1270. And it's currently 9:31 a.m. Alrighty, it is 44431Y2. 5ETY293, 8WZZ543, 8KDF 909, 8YT8345, 5XBH019. And it is 9:31 a.m. The state is keeping its fake sun over the B&G Plaza, showing you what is the images of the African-American male. This is a demon acting with every single last demon that's on that bus, that's getting on that bus, that's driving past the bus in order and crossing path. That's a sex offender that is on Omnitrans license 1399984, bus 1270, molesting my person, engaging in terrorism, engaging in federal stalking on behalf of a government, in concert with commercial actors who you hear, such as Union Pacific. That's what that. There's a way to identify every demon that's acting on behalf of the state. That's attributed to Union Pacific. And that African-American male that is at the driver's seat of the Omnitrans at 9:32 a.m. is engaging in that ongoing terrorism. And I did capture images of him while he is loitering in relevant position, creating light activity after having engaged in the routine sexual violence by Omnitrans of molestation under the fake sun. License plate 8TDY546. That's captured in still images. All right, it's currently 9:32 a.m. Alrighty, Cardenas crossing path. Back license 4DL9076. 8SOW888. DC657 handicap. 20173B2. That looks like a white male. He's wearing a black cap in operation of a communication device with directed light. 74362R2. 8U75587. 7TKK942. 7PHK232. 7JWM656. And 7MXM432. And this license plate 8UFN167 7NLB 309. It's 9:34 a.m. Seven HDP 539, 7 YUJ 737, 7 PVH 057, 96215B2, C41WX, 4LWX 787. Seven U66729. License plate 7NAJ413. It's 9:34 a.m. That's City of Ontario. C17996. All right, license 9G48602. That's Bay Insulation Supply, touching. 2733812 is the back license plate. They're touching. That's a large commercial truck. That's a sex offender. Engaging in interstate commerce, using those trucks. Engaging in placement of under surveillance of an American citizen. 7RNM912 is monitoring me to that inherently sexually violent conduct of touching, molesting with engineered light while he is crossing path, and the fake sun remains over me at the B&G Plaza. It is 9:36 a.m. License plate W98502 4TB792. I believe it's essentially similar. That's the back license plate on that truck. 8JIE789. And again, that truck, you've got what are lines of directed light diagonally reaching backwards toward me after they drive by. That's called crossing a path and doing so with light. It's demonic. These are demons that are doing nothing other than crossing path in a commercial vehicle. This is demonic activity, and like I said, Satan using puppets driving anything. They could be on a tractor by John Deere, which I've also documented. There's nothing that Satan's going to escape. Any way that Satan is engaging in the P.O.C. ATQS271. They could be driving by on a tractor, which again, the state will create what is directed light streaming backwards toward me while they are driving by, which is called crossing path. That's what demons are doing. Maintaining presence all around like the Tasmanian devil. All right? Just spinning in circles. That's literally what Satan is doing through the people who are surrounding. These are the demon possessed. This is Satan at one time operating over an entire people. All they are doing is pacing all around and engineered light. All right, so you're understanding what is federal group stalking and monitoring, where it is supposed to be under the guise of normal existence in society. Separate individuals, they are not. They are one group together. 8WJP970, 7SAT058, 46950X2, 8SAZ767, 7XEF587, 6SJN705, and you also know that by the directed light. 8LSB240, and that is literally, 8MOG827 ties all the demons together. That's how you know what a system is. Impossible light activity. 7VOS809. It is the specific signature. It is the identity of a demon. It is the signature of the stalker, the third party and or state actor. All right? Engaging in this state surveillance, and that's terrorism while the entity does that. 7JXM933. 8V39176. 7DGA990. 4SLR856. 8VDG937, 8LUZ866, 5VVP461, 4VLV961, I believe. And Ontario Police driving what is westbound on Hope Boulevard at 9:38 a.m. License plate 11178U2. That's UPS. Going what is eastbound on Hope Boulevard, and that demon in that dark brown truck and directed light streaming diagonally backwards toward me while that demon crosses path. All right, license plate. It's not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's pathetic. Satan is pathetic. All right, Satan is not a formidable adversary at all. 8KGV370, including the demons of the Ontario Police Department. This is a male, Latino, license 1591505 or 1585, vehicle 1895, at what is 9:39 a.m. 8TKG014. This is the same Ontario Police Department. Like I said, this is the same demon-possessed entity. All right, that is engaging in surveillance, and that's why you have the police playing back a tape of audible activity that occurred inside of the allegedly privately 3XTU344 residence of Tracy Banks on May 4, 2019, because the police department are engaged in surveillance. 9426003, 4DL9068. This is the same demon-possessed agency engaging in following me down street for street, all right? And this is the Ontario Police that I documented a couple weeks ago, asking me about a specific vehicle, the Mercedes, that was nowhere near me. I was on Fern Avenue and F Street, walking at nighttime, having violated no law, all right, and engaging in pursuing me, looking for me, chasing me down. At least this is the outward form of this demon. And again, that outward form is also an admission as to your knowledge of who I am, because you have no facts, no specific articulable facts to support your reason for what is, first of all, detaining me by asking me any question. 8XPS771, but also that question is an admission to knowledge of who I am. 8GQM484, which I don't need. You already know that these demons know who I am while they're under what is Satan itself, and that is a light source hovering over. You're witnessing what are demons under what is Satan. That I'm speaking to you in the plainest terms, because that's what it is. You're witnessing the supernatural. The puppets of Satan, the Ontario Police Department, driving under what is that fake sun. That fake sun is Satan itself. All right, hovering over the sky space while this satanic targeting system is underway, engaging in demonic activity. 7DGH142, but also engaging in that which is conduct which I'm going to prosecute them with. All right, additional corroborating conduct. And this is just based on knowledge of the law. Your audible activity that you're monitoring with, while you're molesting with directed light, engaging in the P.O.C, and your conduct, your speech is speaking to what is an admission as to specific knowledge, which there are no facts supporting why you would have such knowledge. Asking about a specific vehicle, all right, which is at an entirely different location, all right, and it is nightfall. I have on dark clothing, so you're talking about, oh, you were given a description by some third parties who summoned you. Why else were you present, driving around, hunting around, when there has been no violation of the law, by the way? 35755C3, 5CCX216, because they're engaged in surveillance. That's why they engage in that conduct. That's why they engage in what is playing back recordings on their phones about verbal exchanges between Tracy Banks and myself inside of what is supposedly her private venue. It's not. The P.O.C. is underway. 6B05, I can't really see that. You can scratch that. 869YH1, 5UQU865, 6DOG738, 73701F2. That's not bad. 8YTA345, 8LFX930, 8HYW869, 8XYC507. And so that is what the Ontario Police Department are doing. There is no form. They're stalking. 7U72055. And I've documented that so many. 6AJM616, 2694583. 9F86483, rider, license plate 2315024, Indiana. 6RWD503. Rider was group stalking while the state's fake sun was moving in front of the vehicle this morning. 8MDP472, driving what was south on Laurel Avenue while the fake sun was moving in the window, as I showed on video. Rider was group stalking at what is the venue of the United States Postal Service at 123 West Hall Boulevard. Rider crossing path again while the state's fake sun is stationary at the B&G Plaza. Alrighty, it is deliberate conduct. This is Satan in operation, and these are Satan's minions that are literally engaging in what is double dutch with regard to stalking visibly. All right, engaging in what is intentional conduct. This is the pattern of conduct underway in a specific environment. There is no, so I'm letting you know, there's no like coincidental presence in the path while you're under what is engineered light and under that which is a light source. This is Satan itself. And also you're dealing with what are demons who are entirely focused on me. So I just want to break that down for you. And that's exactly what Ryder was documented on video engaging in. And this is on my podcast, speaking to what is crossing the path again as I'm crossing the street of the Whole Boulevard, and the state's fake sun is remaining over my head. All right, it is currently, by the way, it is currently 9:44 a.m. 7XAK170. 8PFN 868. 8R31W20, that's a paper plate. 8VCD 744. 8PCW 988. 7RZY 672. And it's currently 9:45 a.m. and I'm walking north on Plum Avenue. Those are minions associated with apartment number 152, African Americans, 4 NHC 969 at the Ontario Town Square Townhomes. All right, I'm showing you what is a fake sun that's directly over the apartment building of the Ontario Town Square Townhomes, where those African Americans in front of what is 152 are stalking in the path. 7UTV 767. States fake sun leaving from the B&G Plaza, advancing north up Plum Avenue as I am walking up Plum Avenue at the second that I do, not going east on Hope Boulevard as I get on the bus of Omnitrans. No, going north, remaining over my head as I'm walking north on Plum Avenue, after remaining stationary at a B&G Plaza, an address where I remain there. 470HUY. 7NQP901. This is the same Ontario Town Square Townhomes where the entity, a demon-possessed government actor flying in a black and white helicopter, was flying over those apartment buildings. Oh, and I captured a still image of that at 9:45 a.m. So you can look at that. That's the Ontario Town Square Townhomes. You got black folks. Doesn't matter what race those demons are. That's a distraction by Satan, who wants you to think that there's some focus on race by law enforcement, who are demons engaging in what is demonic activity, but what is targeting as they are of that demon possession. This is state surveillance, and they are monitoring in concert with African Americans. It doesn't matter what their race is. That's a distraction. It's a song and dance. It's a false narrative. 7UDL341, 8HCY 724, BVM 8152. That's Washington. 7JXF 565, 8CNW 513, 8VFX 675, 7FYN 217. 4ZTM 434, 5YIC 504, 5A15945, 8GHA 500, 8SXM 217, 6DDA 599, SOYDARX, Heart ATLAM, 7BCH 361, 8BSL 218, 6JBH 372, 8WUU 127, 8RWB 998, 8SCX 993, 8NDY 876, 8WHR 543, 8WHR 543, 5WMY 640, 8WUM 560, 7TBF 462, 8GDH 794. It's 9:49 a.m. License, this is another blackface demon, 89604 and 2. FGHTRR with a pink license plate. Like there's some fighter. They're a demon-possessed stalker, and the fake sin is directly over me while they cross path. 05085L2. License plate 7FKG486. Demons. 8FJW560. Demons, crossing path 8DAD039. Directed light shooting across the venue of what is 136. Looks like Lucia's Beauty Salon is a venue. 74393K1. Driving on the street is never going to result in 18A3XF, a paper plate, and laser light moving across the face of those buildings. Those are demons. This is Satan operating over people, 748KM, who are stalking, and that's a handicap license plate. This demon, they're just patrolling. One after another. 6K U.S. 860. 55. Go on ahead, Satan. 55567E2. That's 55567E2. 7HZY972. 8CKZ443. 6UGJ000. License 8VCW742. It's currently 9:51 a.m. The state is keeping its fake sun over me right here. I want to be clear by right here. I mean, the Ontario Fire Department, a state facilitating venue, is right here where my back is standing at the intersection of B Street and Sultana. Directed light is moving across the venue of what is 136 Sultana Avenue and Hope Boulevard. The Minions, as I was already present on Hope Boulevard, and the state was keeping its fake sun over the B&G Plaza. It's no longer over the B&G Plaza. Moving over the Ontario Town Square townhomes in the eastward direction as I walk east on B Street in real time. All right. And now it's at this intersection where demons are patrolling, that is repeatedly crossing path. This is the ongoing entity just engaging in maintenance of presence, just pacing back and forth, and doing so under the fake sun that's remaining over me, remaining over my head, and also while directed light is moving across the venue of 136 Sultana Avenue. All of them are demons. It's the identical conduct, the impossible light activity. 8GYM372. And this is what is state surveillance. And that's conduct of psychopaths. That's psychopaths doing that. I want to be clear. But like I said, Satan is a psychopath. Satan is the definition of a psychopath. You will never get what is any spiritual assessment from some secular mental health assessor who is who is themselves likely demon possessed. Okay, 6XLJ970. You're not gonna get any response to what is the source of some mental psychosis. It's 9:52 a.m. All right. 8WBX080, 6XJR537, 6DMF579, 6EJH337, 8PPE312, monitoring with what is United Airlines that's flying directly over the Ontario Town Square townhomes right now at 9:55 a.m. And I just captured on video what is the state's fake sun at the intersection of Sultana Avenue and B Street. And I mean, entirely opposite location from where I ordinarily walk north up Plum. Right? And which I showed you an image of. I took a still image, the African-American couple, or there were a couple of demons who are African-American standing in front of apartment number 152 of the Ontario Town Square townhomes on Plum, 8Y68784. And then I usually walk through the parking lot of the 280 North Limit Apartments / City Hall / Senior Center. I did not do that. I walked on B Street, 8SZG560. And I did so while the state kept its fake sun, then moving from what is after I leave the B&G Plaza in the vehicle, I've shown you on video, the state keeps its fake sun through the window of the vehicle as she drives east, approaching the B&G Plaza. All right. The state is keeping its fake sun stationary at the B&G Plaza, 8LEW772. As I walk away from the B&G Plaza, walking west and then walking north, the state moving its fake sun in the same manner of direction as I do, moving it west, keeping it in alignment with me, moving it north, keeping it in alignment with me. 6XRP914, 4X12959. And you have then, as I walk north up Plum, the state moving its fake sun then to go what is east on B Street, 7YDS709. Understand the zigzag that the state is doing with the fake sun. That's a zigzag. All right. East on Hope Boulevard, BTJ2643, I believe. 6CRY900. Approaching the B&G Plaza, that is going east on Hope Boulevard, remaining in alignment with me. I leave the B&G Plaza after over an hour, stationary presence, not remaining in any vehicle that is leaving from the B&G Plaza, i.e. the bus, which it does when I'm on the bus. Not today because I did not get on the bus. Remaining at the B&G Plaza as I leave. Okay, so east approaching the B&G Plaza, stationary remaining at the B&G Plaza, west as I leave the B&G Plaza, north as I walk north up Plum Avenue, and then east as I walk on B Street, which I capture in video, and you are looking at what are the demons of the Ontario Police Department. This is a female. She appears to be of Latina descent. She is under what is the fake sun, and that is literally after the state is engaging in a zigzag, and the state's fake sun has advanced north to be where I am at the Ontario Town Square townhomes in between the Ontario Fire Department. And the entity is engaging in what is moving from that parking lot of the B&G Plaza as I am on what is B Street, which is north of Hope Boulevard. And you see it right there at that intersection street. While she is crossing path, as I was already documenting, directed light onto the venue of what is 136 Sultana Avenue, Lucia's Beauty Salon, which is the pattern of conduct 7614. R42, I believe. And then she crosses path, and I'm showing you what is the fake sun, directed light, while the minions that are the people of the state, just like the minions of the Ontario Police Department, they're demons together under that demonic environment. This is Satan that's hovering over me, engaging in what is a zigzag, using that which is not the sun to engage in hovering over me, revealing what is the non-existence of any global warming impact. This is Satan exercising control over the environment and then giving you false narratives as to what is going on. 5WWM883. All right. And you have what is this state engaging in crossing path by the Ontario Police Department. And then this demon crosses path again, and she is focused on me. You know that because the fake sun's over my head. 62932U2. You know that because the fake sun is over my head. All right. So she comes back and she's sounding her horn like a blowhorn. Anyway, it's audible activity. All right. And she's doing so. I just want to make sure you're okay while I'm walking on the sidewalk, minding my business as far as she's concerned. You're talking about what the pattern of conduct is, though. 8ZDT034. She is under the fake sun, and that is direct evidence of it. And what am I speaking to? Not only do I capture all of this P.O.C., but I'm also reminding you of about 9:55 a.m. And the state is keeping its fake sun as I am already at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library on or around January 19th, 2022, okay, days ago. And you have what is, and again, this is just one specific example. This is just one tactic with regard to understanding what is not the sun. What is Satan stalking in the sky space, not just above me. Satan is hovering over you, because that is not clearly the sun that is in any other state, which you are seeing on the news, you're seeing it on TV, wherever you're at. It's you step outside, the light source above you, that's not the sun. And it is not possibly the sun when I'm showing you the object of what's supposed to be the sun over me in the city of Ontario at a very specific location and remaining for the duration of the day. It's not coexisting. We're not looking at the same sky space. That's not what's going on at all. Okay. So like I said, that is also revealing what is the lie that is global warming. All right. These are puppets. Satan is lying to you. Okay. 8S51140. So I captured this on video, and I'm just reminding you about 9:55 a.m. where I have already arrived at the Ovid Family Community Library. I just captured on video at 9:55 where the state is aiming its fake sun, and it's over the building of the Ovid Family Community Library, not over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. The stance where I am, and you see this white woman that crosses path, and the reason why I speak to race, because I'm letting you know what demons are, and it doesn't matter what their race is. You want to speak to what is demonic activity? A demon, that is a black-faced demon. This is African-American, and they're demon-possessed. They're stalking. A white woman, she's demon-possessed. She is stalking. A teenager, okay? And a Mexican teenager, demon-possessed, stalking. Okay? These are puppets of Satan. Satan is using any sort of instrument. These are this is the conduct of a demonic entity. It is not based on, and it has nothing to do with race. Race is brought into the equation by puppets who are distracting you with that which is not relevant. Satan wants to do a song and dance and have you thinking about every other type of that has nothing to do with what he is doing, using any and every type of minion that it being Satan can get its hands on. And let me be clear, Satan's fake sun, because that's what that is. Understand, this is spiritual. You're witnessing the supernatural. This is not possibly the sun. This is that which is the state's fake sun, as I have termed it, and it is remaining over me. It is to the exclusion of any other location by virtue of that, including any other location in the city of Ontario. When you're hovering over the B&G Plaza, you are not over 630 North Fern, unlike what I documented when I remained at 630 North Fern just days prior, let alone the same time of year last year. And you're using that analysis because you're understanding what is not the actual sun, which is the star that we understand it, which is engaging in what is predictable, movements based on time of year, time of day, all right, and that ongoing systematic rotation that the sun engages in. The state's fake sun is engaging in all manner of nothing but following. That's defined as stalking. What is stalking with a light source? Because that's what that is. That's demonic. You are witnessing what is Satan operating influence over the environment. And it's not just limited to what is supposedly the sun that you think is over you. It's not. Satan is over us in the sky space. You're talking about what is operating influence over the weather in general, the environment. And you are being told that it is caused by what is climate control, global warming. There is no global warming, I will remind you, when the state is keeping a fake sun over me on one street in the city of Ontario. That's just letting you know what's not going on. It's not global warming. You're not warming any globe when you're keeping a fake sun on the East Coast, in Southern California, in San Bernardino County, in the city of Ontario, on the street of Hope Boulevard. Okay? Both rising and setting on Hope Boulevard. That's what my documentation shows that I just documented just days ago. All right, what the state is doing with a fake sun is speaking to what is debunking all of these false narratives. All right, so like I said, you have what is the state keeping its fake sun over the Ovid Family Community Library at 9:55 a.m. while I'm at the Ontario Fire Department, which is exactly where we're standing at the intersection of B Street and Sultana Avenue, facing the Ontario Town Square, the Ontario Town Square townhomes. The Ontario Fire Department is to my back, and I'm showing you what is the fake sun while I am facing what is southeast, okay? And the fake sun is right there while I'm facing southeast. The Ontario Ovid Family Community Library is a distance. I did not walk in the parking lot of the city hall, did not walk that direction. That's where the state is going on a day-to-day basis as I walk that location to get to the Ovid Family Community Library. You are looking at what is the state keeping its fake sun over me while I am at the 630 North Fern yesterday, and this is at approximately 10:08, 10:09 a.m. where I am leaving from that address. This is just yesterday, okay? The state's fake sun is remaining over 630 North Fern, but yet today you have it in the opposite direction. It is not coexisting. It is not anywhere in the location of being over 630 North Fern. It is as I am facing south at the B&G Plaza. The fake sun. It is not east down Hope Boulevard, anywhere near some parking lot of Starbucks in that location. It is south as I am showing you what is the presence of the state's fake sun at the B&G Plaza, where it remains stationary. Okay? And so you have what is, again, the direct evidence of what is, first of all, demon possession. Second of all, which is relevant to what is terrorism, by law enforcement who are not only demons, they are engaged in what is interstate stalking, and they're doing it with the people of the state, having also been documented engaging in a pattern of kidnapping, which is obstruction of justice, while that entity that is monitoring you knows exactly what you're documenting about the entity's criminal activity. And this is Satan itself that's engaging in that criminal activity, using that minion in a uniform of the police department, the Ontario Police Department, who I have also documented Satan present over that venue of the 2500 South Archibald Avenue, the Ontario Police Department, their venue, if you will. Just like you saw right now, the state's fake sun over the Ontario Fire Department where I'm standing. Right, I'm standing right there at the venue. And let me be clear, Satan owns the Ontario Fire Department. Satan owns the Ontario Police Department. Satan owns the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Q-U-I-Z-Z-Z-Y. Get this demon, come on down. Come on. Satan listens to me, engages in the P.O.C. while they listen to me document and prosecute them. License plate 6LCV540, and it's currently 10:06 a.m. So you have what is the state's presence over the Ovid Family Community Library in the entirely opposite direction. And remember, on January 19th, I was already sitting there. I was chilling, okay? All right, I was relaxing, if you will, sitting in front of the library area, which is facing the McCarthy construction site. I'm not at the entrance area where the state puts its fake sun over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. And you also see that by the vantage point of my video while I'm standing in front of the library facing the McCarthy structure, that part of the library, where I turn around to show you what is the roof area of the Ovid Family Community Library. The state's fake sun is not over the edge of the 280 North Lemon Apartments like the state is routinely engaging in as I am walking through the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. It is over the roof of the library, and I pointed that out to you. Okay? This is maintaining central presence. This is Satan itself, which is pursuing me. All right, which is maintaining presence over me, while the demon possessed, whose license plate I just read again, listening to me document them on a podcast and publish it on the World Wide Web as I prosecute this entity and reveal Satan in operation, all right, over a people and over an environment, and understanding and speaking to you and letting you know about what is the times that we are in and what are the lies that Satan is parroting to you. Okay, all right, and it is lies such as Black Lives Matter, lies such as climate control, lies such as COVID-19, where you are being told information. You are relying on that which you are being told. And the source of who you are being told, it's not just the fact that you're being told it, okay? This entity has no credibility. Engaging in criminal conduct, surveilling you without your knowledge, doing it in direct opposition to what is supposedly the founding paper, the founding documents of this country. We're supposedly so free. We're supposedly under what is a constitution, a binding document. All right, you're talking about what is literally understanding the direct evidence of what is Satan in operation over a people is the fake sun that's directly over them. It is Satan itself over the environment. Satan not wanting you to know that and calling it climate control while you're thinking the sun's getting closer and closer to the planet because it's climate control. No, Satan is hovering in the sky space. And the demon possessed, including license 1567617 at 10:08 a.m. Alrighty, capturing some very juicy documentation. State's fake sun at 10:08 a.m. And so I got the demons of the Ontario Police Department who are engaging in what is group stalking, crossing paths. This is what demons are doing. You have a demon in a fire truck. They're just waiting to sound their sirens and lights, loitering in relevant position while the state, as I just captured in video, is flying in relevant position. And so now they are driving on what is a side street that looks like Birch at Sultana. All right, after loitering in the middle of the street being Sultana. All right, while the state is flying over by Southwest Airlines, flying over by helicopter and crossing path, maintaining presence in the College of Law, University of LORRAINE parking lot, stalking in the path, blatantly engaging in stalking, by the way. And doing so, you're also blatantly stalking while the fake sun is over me, nowhere near being over the Ovitt Family Community Library. But also what I want to point out, which the camera may not have been able to catch, you see flickering light in perfect alignment with me at this street where the Ontario Police are maintaining presence to the College of University College of Law, LORRAINE University College of Law parking lot. The state is flying over by helicopter. The fire department is maintaining presence in the middle of the street, but I'm also right next to the fire department. City of Ontario is directly in front using the C Street turn circle, using the vehicles on the dumpster truck as flashing light. That's the P.O.C. And I want to be clear, I am standing on what is the University College of Law, right here in this little side street area where I'm going to document some more right now. And I want to be clear, the state's fake sun where I'm showing you, it's over the Ontario Fire Department. That is well beyond, nowhere near what is the Ovitt Family Community Library. I just want to point that out. And so, like I said, you have what is Satan that is surrounded by evidence, and I'm revealing what Satan is doing through the government, what Satan is doing through the people, and it's entirely demented. It is prosecuted as what is state surveillance because the people and the government, they're monitoring with communication devices. So you have your ordinary minion, all right, that has a cell phone, and this is how they're engaging in what is state surveillance. And they're doing so in a deliberately maintained environment, while Satan itself is hovering over the environment with that which is not the sun. This is engineered light. This is relevant for what is prosecuting the entity that is touching you with abnormal light in order to surveil you, to maintain surveillance, to engage in stalking, including in what are private spaces, where the Ontario Police, who you are looking at on video, stalking in a parking lot, while they're monitoring in concert with the people of the state who are maintaining presence all around, while the demons are driving around, while the demons are flying around, directed light in the fake sun over my head. The Ontario Police Department are sex offenders. You're also witnessing the conduct of a sex offender, engaging in that same surveillance while my panties are down inside of the private space, while demons such as the City of Ontario create light activity with knowledge of where I am and what I am doing, including while my panties are down, and they are engaging in that stalking conduct. You're witnessing and understanding what is the picture of surveillance, what it looks like, where the entity is engaging in what is demonic activity, and this demonic activity is accomplishing what is surveillance with communication devices, and that's in violation of Title 18. That's literally what the entity is doing, and it is the absence of coincidence while the state is for the second time today and for 2 consecutive days in a row, and this is in conformity to a long documented pattern of conduct of stalking with helicopter, where the state's fake sun, that's not the actual sun, also happens to be over my head, all right, where that ongoing conduct is going. And I also want to point out, this is going to what is the prosecution of the Ontario Police Department, who are going, this is federal prison, and disbanding such police agencies that are engaging in criminal conduct and terrorism, as the Ontario Police has been so heavily documented engaging in blatant demonic activity. I have vividly revealed their demon possession, all right, in multiple ways. But you have what is the entity engaging in this P.O.C. and this is what you remain cognizant of, while you are monitoring the documentation. That's going toward their prosecution, okay? These are dangerous psychopaths engaging in a pattern of kidnapping, present pursuant to what is criminal summoning while they are ceaselessly engaged in surveillance with the people. While you're looking at this documentation, you recall what is the ongoing pattern of criminal summoning, and these demons are monitoring together. That's what you're understanding the pattern. This is how the whole big picture fits together while I document the demons of the police department and the demons that are the people of the state, engaging in what is a single system as one, a demon possessed in that demonic environment. Psychopaths, okay? And by the way, like I said, I want to point out, not only at 10:08 a.m. is the state keeping its fake sun over the 630 North Fern address where I'm showing you in video, the vehicle is then moving, leaving north up Fern and then west on G Street and then south on Euclid Avenue. That is not possible to coexist with remaining stationary over the Ontario Fire Department where I am now, which you also know I was already at what is the B&G Plaza, which is leaving from the address of 630 North Front well before 10:08 a.m. But you're understanding what is stalking with a fake sun. That's the direct evidence against that demon that's engaging in surveillance in a police vehicle and stalking with the entity engaging in terrorism via helicopter. All right. It is currently 10:17 a.m. 8 NRC 159. All right, it is 10:17 a.m. 99840Y1, 3TGR121, City of Ontario, entering the fire department parking lot to cross path, 8S51140, I already read that one. I just want to make sure I'm getting all of these. 8DCW057, 8GWM928, 6WSH468, 8JCD903, 7JTG126, 8BBW655, 6WSH468, 8MXD072, 17631M2, 8YCD481, 5RCH627, 7ZCT777, 7NWJ055, 7ZIZ152, 7MMX137, QUIZZZY, I think I read that one already, just want to make sure. 8EAK780. 7WGL106. And the Ontario Police, understand what Ontario Police are doing while I stand over here at this location on the sidewalk outside of the Ontario Fire Department between the parking lot of the Ovid, I'm sorry, not the Ovid, but the College of Laverne. The Ontario Police, well, they're stalking, obviously. But let me just be clear. Let me be very specific. They are maintaining presence while I am standing over here at this particular location as opposed to walking through the parking lot where there are more people. And Ontario Police are engaging in what is the maintenance of presence while I stand over here at this particular location. Okay? So I want to be clear. That's all that you're ever doing, by the way, in direct light and under a fake sun. 8J07180, 7THM993. And 8N41036, FOTOBAF, 7MAN758, 8EOE713, or 8EOE713, 8AQM336, 14141F3, 6SCZ923, 5PRR201, 7XXC307, 5XUT821, 8UVU958, that is audible activity as I begin walking in an opposite direction. And you're going to remember where the state is hovering over the Stater Brothers parking lot. That is not hovering over the Ontario Fire Department. The state acts like it's taking off wherever it is that I'm at. So you're not taking off, perpetually taking off continuously down Hull Boulevard. 7SAY308, 7CPU882. 8VCA080, and you're also not taking off when the Ontario Fire Department is at a distance whereby you would already be higher in elevation. You wouldn't even hear that. 3STAR13, 3STAR12, 8FYR372, 5YHB613, 5GMJ986, 37860X1. PS 616. All right, so I want to make sure I accurately document the Ontario Police, who you see on video, crossing path and then engaging literally in the demonic conduct. This is a demon that just begins pacing in the parking lot, and then they maintain stationary presence while the state then engages in stalking via helicopter. And you're looking at the fake sun right over my head. This is vehicle number 1896, vehicle with license plate 1567617, license 8WWS 471. It is currently 10:22 a.m. Alrighty, I did document on video because I want to make sure I specifically identify that demon of the Ontario Police Department engaging in that terrorism, stalking, and monitoring with the police via helicopter. And doing so with the Ontario Fire Department, who are loitering in the middle of the street in a fire truck, and then they turn to drive east on, I believe that is Birch in Sultana. And you have what is the City of Ontario creating light activity using a dumpster truck at what is the, essentially right in front of what is the Wells Fargo, that turn circle area right there at the C Street, where there is no light source whatsoever over the 280 North Limit Apartments. This is all manner of surrounding the entity with ongoing documentation, like I said. And that is just the ability to identify yet another demon. I will identify as many of them as possible. I identified all of them all together. Satan was hovering over 2500 South Archibald Avenue, the Ontario Police Department. Okay, Satan owns the Ontario Police Department, period. I documented that already. 5SPS 616. Let me show you something. Alrighty, just showing what is engineered light that is shooting off of a building onto the sidewalk, while I'm also showing you what is license 37860X1. I'm also showing you what is the fake sun that's directly over the parking lot. And this building where this directed light is streaming diagonally, it is in, let me show you this, hold on. All right, what I'm showing is, first of all, this is impossible light activity. But second of all, the reason why I took more pictures of it right now is because, first of all, the fake sun, which is what I'm capturing at 10:26 a.m. And this is the University of Law College of LORRAINE. It's very forgettable. I think they had a hard time getting there, getting accredited. Anyway, you have what is the state's fake sun that's with this direct light that's making a very sharp turn to what is the direction of, that would be north. While it's shooting off of this building. This is engineered light nonetheless, but you're also paying attention to what is the direction of this light. It's just shooting at a very sharp angle to the north off of the building. The state's fake sun is directly in front of me and centered in front of that building because I'm standing in front of the building. This is not light activity that's ever occurring where the state is keeping its fake sun, which is nowhere ever in front of the University of LORRAINE College of Law, because the state is keeping it while I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library over the 280 North Limit Apartments. All right, this is the method of what is touching surfaces with direct light. This is the engineered light, and that's also impossible light activity because that's not the sun. But then you also have what is the maintenance of that fake sun over an entirely distinctly different location, let alone when it's remaining over 60 North Front. But I just wanted you to look at that because you're looking at what is the very sharp angle of this directed light off of the building, and it's shooting straight, a very sharp turn to the left, which is essentially facing Sultana Avenue. It is facing, aiming north off of the building. It's very peculiar. Anyway, I'm just pointing out that's engineered light nonetheless. This is speaking to what is an ongoing environment conducive for monitoring with communication devices. And you have what is that ongoing evidence that's surrounding the Ontario Police Department, speaking to what is demon possession. It's a demonic environment. And this is also speaking to what is ongoing criminal activity in violation of Title 18. This is engaging in what is monitoring with communication devices. So anyway, it is currently 10:28 a.m. And as I capture the video of the Ontario Police, it is the absence of any light source anywhere near the Fontana Lewis Library, which I have documented already. Recall my documentation just days ago. I'm showing you what are the demons of UPS, engaging in state surveillance under what is a company name that you know as UPS. United Parcel Services. Guess what? They're monitoring you, and they are demon possessed. They are under what is Satan itself that is hovering in a light source that is not the sun, and relying on your ignorance as to that, while they are perpetually engaging in what are criminal elements for monitoring with communication devices and doing it on a massive scale with the people of the state. The people of the state are acting via UPS. UPS is nothing but a brand, a company logo whereby malicious criminal conduct and demonic activity is underway. And you're talking about what I'm showing you on video while I'm in the city of Fontana, and I'm documenting the minions of the Fontana Lewis Library who closed down their library. They can give whatever reason they want. They've already been documented, and I continue
continue to document them while I remain in Ontario or where I'm going to Upland, wherever it is that I go. And that which is not the sun is over me because I documented while that which is not possibly the sun was over me in Fontana. And so you have, what is the state keeping its fake sun at around 10 o'clock in the morning, after 10? And UPS is present, directed light on shooting off of that dark brown vehicle, which is not light activity that's going to occur even if it was a white or a white silver vehicle. Light is not shooting off of surfaces like lasers. This is not a comic book. All right, that's engineered light, and it's demonic, and it is speaking to what is seriously the demented mind state. That demented environment is directly indicative of the demented mind state of those who are surrounding, and it is literally the demon possessed. Satan is a psychopath. Satan is a sex offender. Satan is literally at its wit's end, and is a desperate, treacherous actor, and using people who surround to do so. Just like this minion wearing skin-tight pants, staring at his phone while he's stalking in the path, while the state is keeping the fake sun over me while I'm walking past the Ontario Senior Center, and doing so in direct light while the state's fake sun is now approaching what is the Ovid Family Community Library area. So let me show you that on video.
All right, I just want to document it is prosecuted as what is ongoing terrorism, but I'm breaking down what are demons that surround. First of all, they are working, sitting, present, everything that is ongoing inside of this venue, the Ovid Family Community Library, where I showed you the fake sun following to this venue, starting from what is behind the location, in conflict with where I'm showing you where the state is following with the fake sun. For example, driving from Euclid Avenue, then turning what is east onto C Street, approaching the Ovid Family Community Library. From that location, you see the fake sun in the window of the vehicle, whatever vehicle I'm in, remaining over me, arriving at that venue where I am now as I arrive. Also coming from what is, for example, the B&G Plaza, walking from what is that location where I was present this morning, walking west on Hope Boulevard, then north up Plum Avenue, and then continuing north through the parking lot of the Ontario City Hall, which is typically the path that I take. And you have what is the state keeping its fake sun moving over me as I am arriving, not already present over that venue, pursuant to what is a time that you can predict with regard to the actual sun. This is the light source remaining over my head, following me to that venue, and then maintaining presence over the 280 North Limit Apartments, if that's the location where I stop. If I go to the front portion of the the front portion of the library, the state's fake sun is over the building or over the parking lot. I've documented all this before. You have what is today coming from what is Sultana Avenue, showing you what is the state's fake sun that is beginning from behind the library and remaining over my head, which I also show as I'm literally walking and showing you what is the movement of that which is the fake sun. This is satanic. In other words, this is Satan, and these are demons. And so what I'm documenting at 12:13 p.m., 12:14 p.m., and still images, you're looking at what is a state actor, because he is an employee at a state facilitating venue that is the Ovid Family Community Library, affiliated with what is the City of Ontario. And so this state actor is, first of all, standing in direct light. The state is aiming, cycling direct light inside of this venue on the grounds. I've shown you through the Copy and Business Center. I've shown you through the side walkway while the state is aiming light underneath a structure into the building to touch on the floors and the walls. Absolutely impossible. That is Satan, by the way, reaching into, and you're looking at what is the living, breathing character of this engineered light, this abnormal light. It is Satan itself, okay? And this is the same with that which is the light source that is not the sun. It is Satan itself. You need to understand that. In this demonic conduct, which is prosecuted as terrorism, at 12:13 p.m. while I get up to ask a question to, this is a state actor going by the name of JFed, I capture an image of what is relevant positioning. And while I'm speaking to him, you have the demonic act of what is flashing light, that it just appears. What you see on the wall behind JFed, the Business and Copy Center, on the white wall, I documented this specifically at Starbucks before at 706 West Halton. I would refer to the light activity as squares of light. Like moving walls of light. That's exactly what the state engages in, flashing onto the wall. These are square-like panels of light just appearing on the wall right behind JFed's head, a demon, all right? And this is a terrorism, while this is also a psychopath who's communicating with me and doing so just, nicely answering my question. This is the surface conduct. This is a hostile demon, and this is what that hostility is acted out through that demonic environment. It is the prosecution for what is terrorism. And I want to document that. I took an image of what is that impossible light activity that appeared on the white wall while I was speaking with JFed inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. And I want to be clear, how is this light occurring? Again, this is not some telescope that the entity is aiming inside of the library and shooting light onto the wall. This is demonic, okay? The entity is not hovering over and, shooting light like a laser while demons are driving by and flying. Oh, that's not what's going on. You are looking at light. You see it. I've captured it. Okay. You've seen it for yourself. You are witnessing demons in action. You are witnessing that which is the demonic, engaging in that supernatural conduct, that which you ordinary normal people are not shooting light like lasers while your car is driving by anything ever. Okay, it's not a comic book. This is things that you are looking at in comic books. So these are goofy demons, and I'm showing them the criminals that they are, the psychopaths that they are. This is Satan that is operating through people who surround. This is demonic activity. That is how light is manifesting on a wall behind Japheth's head, who is a demon, who is monitoring. He is not at work. He is not present pursuant to any First Amendment rights. He is being documented and being prosecuted with the rest of the entity. And that is the impossible light activity. And I want to be clear, all of these demons are in here monitoring together. But that impossible light activity is speaking to what is the presence of Satan, what is the conduct of Satan. That is how that light is occurring. Satan is present in the environment. And that is also pursuant to that ongoing P.O.C. So I want to document that. It's 12:19 p.m. What I took a picture of is the relevant positioning by Japheth. This is the male you see with his back toward my location where I'm standing. And you see what is the wall that says Copy and Business Center. And on that wall, to what is the right of that doorway, this is where you have seeing what are the flashing light. And these are like square little panels of flashing light that just appear on the wall while I'm talking to Japheth, just asking him a question real quick. All right, that's the P.O.C. These are demons, and that is the ongoing pattern of conduct. I've already shown you what directed light is. I don't need to make up, let alone have I any interest in trying to make up stuff. I don't need to. I've shown you the state stalking by helicopter. That is really going on a daily basis. It's not funny, but it is so incredible, and I've already documented it for you. And this is exactly what happened at 12:13 p.m. And so I want to document that. These demons engaging in group surveillance inside of the bathroom, demons that are sitting around, walking around, doing everything they're doing, both inside and outside of the building, demons of the law enforcement, demons in helicopters, all manner of the P.O.C., and they are together at one time listening to me pull my panties up and down. That's the reality of what these people are doing. All right. And they are doing so in what is, this is Satan that is operating over a people, and Satan is present through the environment. That's what you're looking at with regard with what is not the actual sun. All right. It is currently 12:20 p.m. and this is P.O.C. Relevant positioning in the women's restroom, just creating activity following inside, chasing literally into the bathroom as I walk in. It's 4:22 p.m. You work for Securitas, right? Hello? That's the security guard, isn't it? I saw the security vest. Yeah, that's relevant positioning, operation of a communication device, and activity creation by what is a demon. It's 4:23 p.m. That is what is the criminal objective of activity creation while directed light is present all outside of the bathroom. And this is the security guard. She is with Securitas. She opts not to speak while she is stalking in the bathroom in directed light, chasing into the bathroom, all right, as I enter inside of the bathroom, and in operation of a communication device replete with that. And this is a sex offender that is demon possessed, that is stalking, and I also identified with a company that is Securitas. That shall be the prosecution of that commercial actor. This is demonic activity by that company. That is this African-American female who is working on the clock at a state facilitating venue, present on behalf of the state, stalking in a bathroom, which is the private space where directed light remains, where amplification of audible activity is ongoing, and where she is facilitating that ongoing sexually violent surveillance inside of the private space. Entrance upon my entering inside of the restroom is no different than a stalker that is manning the path inside of the bathroom in order to maintain that ongoing surveillance conduct. But let me be clear, this demon chases into the bathroom. As I enter, she enters. That's impossible audible activity that you hear in the background. That's P.O.C. And that is a sex offender again, that's Securitas. All right, this is a demon, and she's just wearing she's just wearing a computer,
a company brand, alrighty, and doing so with knowledge of the fact that she's being documented. So this is a sex offender that is determined to engage in that sexual violence. This is Satan that is determined to engage in that ongoing terrorism through the people of the state. That's going through what is that surveillance inside of the private space, and this is speaking to what is indeed terrorism. All right, these are demons. All right, it is 4:27 p.m. and the entity remains in directed light outside of the bathroom, monitoring to that facilitating conduct. P.O.C. 8WAF148 and Amazon Prime group stalking, crossing path on F Street, Everson Frank. We are driving north on Euclid Avenue right now at 7:06 p.m. 8JVM439. And the state hovering via aircraft, 8KGH220. That is while coming from the Ovid Family Community Library, and so driving down the street where the Wells Fargo is, that is C Street. All right, so driving west on C Street and then turning what is north onto Euclid Avenue, and the state is hovering in an aircraft in alignment with the vehicle. Just like you see as the state fake sun moves in alignment with the vehicle, this is what the state is doing via aircraft while get in the vehicle and it's driving north on Euclid Avenue. It's 7:07 p.m. 22E5098, 7UED293, 7TPS, 7TSP 744, 8BZA666, 7UED293, if I did not write that one. Ongoing molestation inside of the car, just like you saw this morning on the roof of the car. State just cycling direct the light inside of the vehicle. All of these demons are touching together. That's how it's going to be prosecuted. 2N2RY. License 7XJK576. 8VSZ307. 8XFP221. 8VDK602. 8GEJ231. L. I can't see that one. 7SNY171. 8TZJ963, I believe, or 863. 8NRE012, 6HPU739. BJV4799, that's an Arizona license plate. 6RAB225, 7YKM002. 7LSJ. Well, I can't see the rest of it, you could scratch that. 7XXE728. 8URX822. Molesting 8XVT250 with this one, 40836H2. These are sex offenders coming from both sides to molest at Vaughn's. The same Vaughn's where I showed you the state's fake sun right over my head at the entrance. This is stalking with light, molesting with light at nightfall by demons. This is P.O.C. All right, so showing you how these demons work. While I'm subject to that molestation, you have these demons that are standing right in front of the floral department at the entrance of what is the Vaughn's, located at 81 West Foothill Boulevard. These are demons that are stalking in the path, and they're doing so by looking as though they're focused on flowers. Communication device always in hand, though. That's what these demons are actually doing, and that's, by the way, all that demons are doing in direct light, okay? And while they're stalking with light. And they're monitoring while I'm being molested right outside of the doors. I did capture images of those group stalkers inside of Vaughn's. They're not acting by themselves, but I'm just teaching you how demons operate and what they are doing on a systematic basis while psychopaths that are stalkers surround. Many with very bad skin, by the way. It is currently 7:17 p.m. 8KTV911, 7TGR624, 8SVB055, 8XUZ126, 8SJA914, I believe, 7EQV266, 7TCW110, 8LRE909. And light activity coming from third-party facilitating venue Bank of America. You have a third party that is sitting on Euclid Avenue using their hazards. This is facilitation while I am at the plaza anchored by Rite Aid, 8YYRE859, I believe. And this is also, it is currently, by the way, 7:55 p.m. 8ERE676. I also want to document American medical response monitoring with, again, the third party who's driving the vehicle. And by the way, this is what I'm referencing this morning. When I'm referencing the third party that you hear in the vehicle, I'm referencing the one that is driving the vehicle with license plate 4WON432. So that goes without saying. And but let me just specify that that's what I'm speaking of. This third party is on the phone with Eric Corey Spencer. This is a third party and a demon possessed one, and I want to speak to what is the systematic
means of engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring. These are demons that are acting as one. And so this is what she's doing. So we're driving south on Euclid Avenue, and American Medical Response is group stalking in traffic. So she is in what is the far right lane driving south on Euclid Avenue. American Medical Response is in the third lane to the left in relevant position, and is stalking in the path. This is directed light. And by the way, this is the same Euclid Avenue where when I would walk from Upland Public Library, and I literally showed you from corner to corner as I would stop at red lights. At every single last corner, essentially on Euclid Avenue, I'm showing you what is my shadow that was surrounding me while I was molested from city to city with directed light. These are demons, as I would literally read their license plates, the hundreds of them coming off of the 10 freeway, because that was P.O.C. And that's why that directed light was present. That's also the ongoing pattern of conduct while minions are group stalking in vehicles and doing so in traffic. And that's exactly what American Medical Response was doing. And so Tracy Banks is driving the vehicle. She's driving south on Euclid Avenue, and American Medical Response, amongst the other third parties, but I'm just identifying this particular state actor. This is identification of what is the entity acting directly, such as through paramedics and ambulance vehicles. All right. And so this is the state acting directly, group stalking in traffic, monitoring with the people, and monitoring with Tracy Banks. And so while this is the P.O.C., she's driving south on Euclid Avenue, she makes a turn. And she is turned, it's about, I believe it's like 7th Street, or 6th Street off of Euclid Avenue. So that would be turning west onto 6th Street or 7th Street. And, first of all, this is never the street she turns on. She typically drives south all the way down Euclid Avenue and then turns onto G Street. All right. And so, but nonetheless, you have what is the P.O.C., but I'm just letting you know the conduct she usually engages in, the route she typically takes is driving down Euclid Avenue and then driving on G Street. Not to say that she's not free to turn down a different street. That's just not what she ordinarily does. And she engages in turning down this street as though then she forgets, oh, I forgot my card, because she was going to check her card, whatever, long story short, to go to the store, which we did do. We went to the store that is inside of the plaza that's anchored by Rite Aid, and that's how I'm able to document what is light activity while crossing path at the Bank of America. And all of those minions whose license plates, some of whom I'm reciting, are monitoring systematically while the state is also hovering an aircraft and the grounds are covered with directed light. It's ongoing demonic activity. It's ongoing surveillance. Okay. But like I said, turning onto 6th Street, and while American Medical Response turns left while she turns right on the same street. And so this is maintenance of what is relevant positioning. Okay, so I'm going to break this down. We're driving south on Euclid Avenue. AMR is group stalking in the lane over, turning what is west onto 6th Street, and then making a U-turn. That's called pacing in directed light. Okay, while American Medical Response remains on 6th Street at what is a red light, the state is controlling the traffic lights. All right, stationary in the path while this pacing conduct by turning onto 6th Street, making a U-turn and going back. And at the same time, you have what is the use of the communication device, which is the minion who I've identified, calling on the phone, which is the creation of audible activity, while this pacing is ongoing while I'm inside of the vehicle, while American Medical Response is intentionally in the path at the red light. And doing so, this is also operation of communication device. And I just want to break that down. This is also understanding what is the P.O.C. And I'm just translating what are demons engaging in this conduct, and everything that they are engaging in is pursuant to the pattern of conduct. There is no exception to that, but I'm just speaking to what is the malice with which they act. And as I spell that out, you are looking at what is identical conduct of psychopaths. All right, literally pacing around in engineered light. This is Satan. Okay, and doing so in what's supposed to be clever little maneuvers and tactics, and they're not. All right, it's demented, and it is identical with regard to you're just engaging in the same conduct over and over again, trying to do it through different tactics. So you're talking about what is the same P.O.C. manifestations, the same conduct, reiterations of the same conduct over and over again, in other words. All right, 6 P.O.C. 481, a demon at the opposite end of Fern Avenue, aiming light in this direction. It is currently, by the way, 8:02 p.m.